Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen now for 3.17.5 and the Lunar Festival will be live on Friday. And Cloud Imperium have some patches in testing for that, so let's look at those, as well as the state of the current Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 Wave 1 PTU that should be shortly going to Open PTU. So there is an experimental PTU build up at the moment, Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.5B. Mainly this is an ePTU or experimental PTU build so that you can just differentiate it in the launcher, so you can choose which of the PTUs you want to be in for 3.17.5 or 3.18 if you have Wave 1 access. Anyway, Cloud Imperium said with this patch, the primary objective with 3.17.5 is to inject the updated Lunar New Year envelope, Year of the Rooster for 2953, alongside a few new goodies we plan to give out. These were initially in the 3.18 version, which is obviously not on the live servers yet. Therefore, we're releasing a quick patch 3.17.5 to include those in the live build in preparation for the celebration kicking off later this week. So basically, Cloud Imperium are just making people aware that 3.18 isn't in peril beyond what it's like current delays. So 3.17.5 is there just to pop out so that they can get some extra stuff in the game so people can play some stuff. Those gifts that they'll be giving for the Lunar New Year Festival, for that event, they will, as far as I'm aware, and from what Cloud Imperium have been saying, will be attributed to your account permanently in the similar way to the gifts for Luminalia were, so you don't have to worry about them getting wiped with 3.18. So Cloud Imperium continued, this is a quick ePTU published to test a couple of bug fixes in a public environment with all of you and to verify the integrity of the build compared to the live environment. They did some extra little fixes here. The envelopes that were not able to be sold at admin offices have been fixed, and the horse variant of the envelope was incorrectly named as the Red Festival envelope. That's been fixed as well. Cloud Imperium also put out a post. Siege of Orison returns for Lunar New Year. The Night Owls gang hasn't learned their lesson from the bombastic debut of Siege of Orison, and this peaceful city in the clouds is once again under assault. The Siege of Orison kicks off anew on January 20th at 4 PM UTC and will run until the 30th of January at 8 PM. So that is 10 days of the Siege of Orison. For more details on surviving the siege, including a mission rundown and tips from the designers themselves, check back Friday for a Siege of Orison comlink and get ready for the battle. It's likely they're going to have some ship sales. They'll go, oh, you know what happens with Siege of Orison? There's some fighting, and after that fighting, well, maybe you want some combat ships. So it's an interesting one because obviously you can only use the ships at the platforms there during that mission. The rest of the ships can't actually be brought in, but it's likely they'll sell a load of Crusader ships and combat ships, things like that, along with some red and gold skin ships for the Red Festival as well. So back to the regular PTU server, we have Star Citizen Alpha 3.18.0X now in testing, so a new PTU patch. The server region has been opened up to both US and EU. Lots of people were complaining that the EU servers, they had loads of problems with them compared to the US ones, but I think that has now largely stabilized. The patch is still in Wave 1, so pretty limited access player-wise. We are expecting it to go to Open PTU, well, at least I am, later this week. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, there's loads of other stuff happening with the Lunar New Year and the Siege of Orison and 3.17.5, but I'm still expecting 3.18 to go Open PTU. The plan is still to have it live by the end of the month as well, but there's been a load of fixes and improvements in this latest patch. I'll sort of highlight some of them. They've made improvements to the visuals of cliffs. They disabled bed logouts around outposts. They've adjusted some first-time user messaging in the commodity kiosk. They've improved layouts of the community price alerts journal entry to list by commodity rather than by location. They've removed physical pressure from distortion weapons. Ship recovery from a server crash now functions with persistent entity streaming. They've added large-scale diffuse to planet-driven organics shaders, and they've further optimized the Gen 12 renderer stuff, so hopefully we'll have higher frame rates or better looking stuff. Some bug fixes. Yeah, let's really try and highlight these because there were so many. Elevator, spawn, and accessibility issues with many ships and locations were done. Various ships and cargo grid issues, as well as seat and clipping issues were solved. ASOP terminals, ship customization, as well as ship spawning and location issues. They saw lots of work and fixes. Rental ships should be working properly now as well. Mining lasers should now be working properly too. Various UI, HUD, and MFD issues were solved, including button misalignments and missing buttons. Many inventory issues, including equips timing out and filters not working and item ports not showing, were all solved. Loot boxes spawning inside of one another. They were little treats for me, but they've been solved now. They don't spawn in each other when one's already there. More fixes. When entering and exiting any seat during quantum travel, there was a high chance that you could be ejected into space. The mole mining capacity was showing a 64 rather than 96. Landing gear levers on the cutter were backwards. You'd spawn in prison with weapons and armor after dying when you had a crime stat. Pay fines could be pressed and as many times as you wanted, boop, 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 and then subtracted the UEC every time you pressed that button. So that was a bit silly. Multi-tool variants display healing regardless of what attachment you've got on there. They fixed some problems with the IMC canisters not attaching to the multi-tool. Weapons that would holster and unholster themselves repeatedly on low FPS have been solved. Internal elevators could spawn rotated, preventing players accessing them or causing players to be trapped. Rented vehicles were able to be edited in the Vehicle Manager app, which is a shame that they've gone and removed that because I quite like being able to do that. Players were able to export the salvage elevator geometry to clip into ships via EVA. Players lost access to their Mobiglass, Comlink and Skylink apps after falling from EVA. There was unlimited personal inventory when you were sort of carrying, using the carry action. The Year of the Rooster, Lunar New Year envelope was missing display info. Accepting multiple contracts would show each objective marker for sort of multiple missions at the same time. This, for me, was again a feature, not a bug. Shame they removed it, but yeah, it could get confusing. You don't want UI clutter. The AI in prison caves took a very long time to move from their spawn closets on a stressed server. This is generally problems that they have with the AI on low tick rate servers, stressed servers. The AI is the first thing to have major issues. Patient medical terminals would get stuck with healing in progress showing. Mission objective markers didn't update properly. Hate accessibility problems. They need to get solved, and I'm glad that they solved a lot of the mission objective stuff. Some missions wouldn't progress or AI wouldn't spawn there, and they solved some of those problems. There were some audio fixes for errant or loud sounds. Not all of the cargo boxes were spawning in for players doing the retrieve cargo missions. They fixed 7 client and 16 server crashes, as well as a server deadlock as well. Now, that's actually quite a big list of fixes. I'm not 100% sure if all of those listed bug fixes have stuck and held, but let's assume that they largely have, or at least they're aware of any others. There is, however, quite a big known issue list. There's 24 pressing issues that Cloud Imperium have outlined. Some of the highlights of the major blockers here I'll go through. Hitbox desync. Vehicles don't take damage when hitting certain parts. Elevators and trams are jittery during transit. Players can equip and keep items from the mannequins displayed in stores, and items on some shelves. You steal them as well without having to purchase any of them. Various salvage issues with individual ships, so on the sort of the salvage parts aren't salvageable properly or don't deform properly, things like that. Once a mission has been completed at a settlement, the AI will not respawn for the next mission, resulting in it being completed upon reaching the location for that player. AI reinforcements not leaving their drop ships can cause lots of problems. Multiple mission locations are disabled. Some ship wreckage erroneously gives no material text and don't let you salvage them. A quantum entanglement doesn't mark the ship as hostile when you are quantum interdicting people. So yeah, that patch has seen a load of bug fixes, but there are a load of really big blockers there that Cloud Imperium are trying to solve. They've still got around a couple of weeks to get that in a good position for a live build. I do think they will be able to do that. I'm interested to know what you think about that in the comments below. Have you been playing 3.18 on the PTU? Have you been playing 3.17.5? Have you tried out the Xeno threat in 3.18? Did you try out the latest Siege for Orison in 3.17.5 on the PTU? Sort of what your experience is that. Something else quick before we go. I did see a thread on Spectrum, MPUV referral distribution. So basically this is a poster asking why they hadn't received their MPUV from the last Star Citizen referral event. So they have these free flying referral events occasionally where they go, if someone signs up using your referral code and purchases Star Citizen within this period, you both get like a little ship. CIG's Chris Wayne Schmidt replied, I can confirm that there's currently some delay in delivering the MPUVs. However, the devs are aware of the problem and are working on a solution. Although I can't give you an exact time frame at the moment, it shouldn't take too long and you should be able to enjoy your referral bonus very soon. I just sort of wanted to make players aware of that if they're going, where is my MPUV? Give me my free stuff! Anyway, that's it for today's video. Please tell me what you think of that 3.17.5 build, what you think of 3.18. Are you excited for the Lunar Festival? Are you going to be trying to purchase anything? Are you really raring to go with the Siege of Orison? Or when 3.18 launches, we know that there's also supposed to be a Jumptown 2.1 event, which is going to be much bigger than Jumptown was. Anyway, whatever you think, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's a new year, time for resolutions, a brighter future. I'll make myself better each day. Or I could just stay at home and play computer games. But what if someone steals my house or bank while I'm otherwise preoccupied on the internet? NordVPN.com/BoredGamer. It's probably the best VPN deal of 2023 already. Not only does it provide security, anonymity, and accessibility on the interwebs, but I haven't heard of anyone with NordVPN having their house stolen. Thanks, NordVPN. Now no one will know what type of degenerate anime I watch. Get NordVPN, you filthy animal. You deserve it. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January, we are giving away an Argo Raft, the reinforced advanced freight transport ship. A dedicated cargo hauler that should see some additional gameplay in 2023. This also comes with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, then please consider becoming a YouTube member with the join button under my videos. You could even become a Patreon. There's links below to that. But liking, subscribing, commenting goes a huge way to help the channel grow. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.